Okay, Alicia, my name is William. Today go read today go read another part of the Bible. Today go read Deuteronomy Chapter 12. Okay. These first students judgment which you shall observe to do in the land. And the Lord God and thy fathers have given thee, possess all the days that they live upon the earth. And to destroy all the places whereon the nations which all have possessed their gods upon the high mountains, upon the hills, and under every green tree. Ye shall overthrow their altars, read the pillars, and burn their gloves with fire, and ye shall give images of their gods. And destroy the names of them, and out of the place. Ye shall not do unto the Lord your God. But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out, while your tribes, but put his name there, unto his habitation, shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come, and thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your thinnings, and heave offerings of your hand, and vows, and your freewill offerings, and your firstlings of your herds, of your flocks. And ye shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that you put your hand unto, and ye in your households wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Ye shall not do after all the things we do here in this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For ye are not as yet rest to the inheritance which the Lord your God giveth you. But when ye go over Jordan, and dwell in the land which God had given it in the inheritance, and given that the rest of the enemy is round about, that dwell in safety, then he shall the place where the Lord God shall choose and cause his name to dwell there, and then there shall bring all the Okay, ye shall overflow the bricks of the pillars, and burn up the images of God, destroy the names of that place. You shall not do the Lord your God. So unto the place that the Lord God choose out of all of your tribes here, his habitation shall ye seek, and neither shall come. And neither thither, and thither ye your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and thithers, and have offerings of your hand, and fowls, and freewill offerings, and first things, and herds of your flocks, and there he shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put on the hand unto your households, where the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. You shall not do all the things that ye do on here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For ye not as yet to come to the rest of the inheritance, which the Lord your God giveth you. But when ye go over Jordan, and dwell in the land which your God giveth to inherit, with the rest of you from your enemies round about, so ye dwell in safety, then there shall be a place where the Lord your God shall choose and cause his name to dwell there. There shall ye bring all that I command your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your tithes, and the heave offering of your hand, and all the choice fowls which ye fowl unto the Lord. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God, and ye your sons and your daughters, and your men servants, and your maid servants, and the Levite, and within your gates of the for so much your part of inheritance to you. And take heed for thyself, and offer not the burnt offerings in the place that thou seest, but in the place where the Lord shall choose one of thy tribes, and thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and there shalt do all that I command thee. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat all flesh of thy gates, whatsoever they soul list and offered, according to the blessing, the Lord thy God, which hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, and the roebuck is the heart. Only ye shall not eat of the blood, and ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. Thou mayest not eat it within thy gates, and did thy corn, or thy wine, or thy oil, and the firstlings of the herd of thy flock. For neither fowls thou fearest, and the offerings, and nor be thy hand. But thou must eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord thy God choose thou thy son and thy daughter, and thy manservant and thy manser, Levite in thy gates, and thou shalt rejoice, Lord thy God, with the pedest of the hands unto. Take thee thyself, and the rest not leave as long as it is upon the earth. Okay, when the Lord thy God enlarge the border as hath promised thee, thou shalt say, I eat the flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh whatsoever their soul lusted after. If the place the Lord thy God hath chosen his name there be too far from thee, thou shalt kill of thy herd and thy flock, which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded thee. And thou shalt eat in thy gates whatsoever thy lusted after. And even as the roebuck and hart is eaten, and as thou shalt eat them, the unclean and the clean shall eat them alike. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, that thou mayest not eat the life of the flesh. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee, and thy children after thee. When thou shalt do that, which is right in the sight of the Lord, only thy holy things which thou hast, and thy fowls, and thou shalt go unto the place which the Lord shall choose. Thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and the flesh of the blood, and upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and the blood of thy sacrifices, and shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and they shall eat of the flesh. Observe, and all the hear of these words I command thee, that it may go well with thee, and thou thy children, and after thee forever. And thou doest which is good and right of the sight of the Lord thy God. Lord thy God shall cut off and the nations from before thee, whither thou goest possesses them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land. Take heed of thyself, and that thou may not be snared by following them, after they be destroyed them before thou inquire not to their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so I do likewise. Thou shalt not do unto the Lord thy God for every abomination of the Lord, which he have done unto their gods, and even their sons and their daughters have burned into the fire into their gods. For what things soever I command you, observe to do, and thou shalt not add thereto, and nor diminish from it. Okay, that is ending of Deuteronomy Chapter 12. Next video, I'll read Deuteronomy Chapter 13. Okay. I have to go right now, so thank you for watching this video. We enjoy this. Bye.